My studio is constantly changing. And right now I'm selling a bunch of stuff. But I'm also looking into buying some new gear. So let's talk about what's in and what's out. And also, I'm on the hunt for a budget Groovebox that I hope that you guys can help me decide what to get. More on that later. Let's start with what I want to buy. And the first device on this list is the Dirtywave M8. It's been on my list for a while now, and if you follow this channel, you know that I got a soft spot for battery-powered Grooveboxes. And a lot of you have told me to try the M8, so I'm ready to give it a shot. That said, I do have one hesitation. It doesn't have a keyboard, which I know is totally impossible on a device that is this small. The thing is, I'm like a field player. I almost always start a jam with some kind of a melody, just letting my fingers wander on the keys and seeing where it takes me. So I'm a little bit worried that the tracker workflow might feel too much like punching in notes on a key roll in a DAW. But yeah, the user interface looks so inviting, and I'm definitely up for the challenge. I'm curious of what kind of music I can make on a tracker. I've used trackers on like Amiga and I think it was called like the Fast Tracker on the PC, but I never really got deep with them. So the only little issue right now with the M8 is that it's currently sold out. So I'm on the lookout on the used market, and hopefully I can find one soon. I really don't know the difference between version 1 and 2, but I don't know if I need the version 2. I think it's a better screen or bigger screen maybe. Not sure. It could be a really nice traveling Groovebox. So over to the next one, and this is where I need your help. I've been featuring a lot of content with the OPXY on this channel, and this is an extremely expensive device, and it's definitely not for everyone. And I don't want my channel to turn into that guy who only uses expensive gear. I also want to bring in something more affordable. So like a budget Groovebox that has like a proper synth engine, not just a sampler. I want actual synthesis under the hood. Something fun, portable, and powerful. I've been thinking about stuff like the Novation Circuit, or maybe something from Sonicware. The Ableton Move could also be an option. But I want to hear from you. What would you pick? Drop your favorite budget Groovebox in the comments, and I will choose one to feature in a future video. So there's also one more device that I got my eyes on, and it's actually the old Maschine Plus. And you might wonder, why are you interested in that device? So a few years back, I used this device a lot. And this is the Maschine Mark III. And honestly, that was one of my most creative periods in my whole music journey, to be honest. And sometimes I really miss this workflow. There's something about how everything just flows in Maschine. So the other day I did a test and I connected this to my MacBook, restricted myself to only using the sounds that comes with Maschine Plus. So no external VSTs and no focus on the computer, just the device itself. And I was completely carried away in the process. Just composing, no distractions. It felt so natural and free. No hiccups, just pure joy. And although it was like a couple of years ago since I used this, I didn't really struggle to remember how to do everything. It just worked. The layout is so intuitive. But one thing that really stands out is how easy it is to get a basic arrangement together. Because that's not always the case in Grooveboxes. You often get stuck with your 8-bar loop, and the arranging part is something you save for later, because it's boring. In the Maschine, it's dead simple. Let me show you. So here we have just a simple little jam. So we only have like one scene here, and to start off I can just disable the melody, disable the bass, and disable the drums. So we have like an intro scene here with just the chords, and then I just press the plus button, and here we can enable like the bass as well. So we have perfect. Next we can also enable this again, and the bass of course, and the drums, and maybe the melody itself. So there we have 3 scenes. We can also use the other parts of the song here. So enable this drum, and this. So this is the second bass on this. So we have like a chorus. Yeah. So now we have some intro, some verse, some pre-chorus, and some chorus. So to make a simple arrangement, you just press Shift and Song, and then you press Section, and now you just press Create, and the first scene is scene 1, create again, scene 2, create again, scene 3, create again, scene 4. Now you have all the scenes laid out, and you can also set how long they should be. So let's just listen. So here's the intro part. There's the bass. And then it will switch over to the chorus. Yeah, so not the best arrangement, but you get the point. It's dead simple to do this. And I think that's why I made so much music when I exclusively used this machine. Because it was so easy to just get a simple arrangement. There was no excuse to not do it. But also, the pads on the machine I think they are superior to the MPC's pads. Because when I play melodies on the MPC, I always get some double triggering. That's so annoying, and that rarely happens on the machine. It just works. Also, one more thing about the machine is that this built-in grain delay, I think it's so awesome. Every time I have like a sound that I want to spice up, I just put on, it's on bypass now, but if we enable that. Oh, that was my cat. He's not happy. Sorry for that. It just adds this like deep delay grain effect, which is so nice. Maybe it's a bit too much on this one. Yeah. I'm coming soon. So as you can tell, I can't stop talking about the machine. It has a very special place in my heart. And I definitely think that it's time to get the Maschine Plus. So I have been waiting for an update to the Maschine Plus like forever now. I would like a better CPU, better battery life, but I don't really know what Native Instrument is doing over there. When they released their plugins for the MPC, I kinda lost hope for a new machine. So I might just have to go ahead and grab an old used machine instead. I've heard that the performance has improved with firmware updates, so it might still be a solid buy. They're not that expensive on the used market right now, so I definitely want to try it out. But I don't know, maybe I'm just nostalgic, but yeah. Alright, let's talk about what I'm letting go of. And yeah, some of these hurt. First up, the MPC One Plus. So this is a super capable box, but honestly, I've not been using this much lately. Something happened when they released the 3.0 software. I know that there was a lot of improvements, but I really didn't like the UI. It's something about the color combinations, and that by itself shouldn't put you off, but it's kind of disturbing to look down on something you think is that ugly. It looked like some kind of a Windows blinds theme on top of the old UI. Blah. The old UI was nothing special, but much more clean, and I think it worked much better. I respect what the MPC can do, but I never reached for it anymore, and if I'm not inspired by it, it's time to move on. And also, there are a lot of speculations on a new MPC coming soon, so that's really exciting. So I thought that I might as well sell the MPC One Plus before the used market gets flooded with MPCs. So then there is the Push 3. Maybe. This one is a bit complicated. I love the concept, the power, the possibilities. But I'm on my 5th replacement unit. Yeah, 5th. So obviously there is some issue with the hardware. I don't know if I have been extremely unlucky or something, but I have had so many issues with it. But Ableton has been very helpful and always sent me a new one when they have failed. So I'm a little bit worried about the quality. And with the warranty about to run out, I'm trying to not get stuck with a broken push and no support. But I'm still torn on this one. It's because of fear I might let this go. Okay, so let's move over to a synthesizer. And this is the Hydrasynth Explorer. So this has incredible sound, and the design possibilities are endless. And I actually loved like everything about this, like the knobs, the buttons, the matrix, but still I didn't use it. Nowadays I am much more into like standalone Grooveboxes, so it never really found its place. It just sat there. And that's not fair to any piece of gear, so I had to let this one go. I might regret that, but as of right now, I don't miss it. And finally, the Roland Jupiter-Xm. I know, it's packed with features and classic emulations. I use this in combination with like the Deluge, the Digitone, the Digitact, and also the MPC. That actually worked really well, but there was one problem, and that was the sound. To my ears, it just sounded kind of grey. Not bad, just like uninspiring. I kept waiting for it to click, but it never did. So it's out. So yeah, that's what I'm clearing out. And where I'm looking next. It feels good to simplify, refocus, and make space for gear that actually fits the way I work. And again, if you have any suggestions for a budget Groovebox with a built-in synth engine, drop it in the comments. I'm open to everything. And if you're curious to see what I will never sell, check this video out next. Alright, that's it for now. Thanks for hanging out, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye!